Never have I ever seen the world so captivated by a video game before. Are you playing Pokemon?
Oh yeah.
Excuse me, are you playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
Are you playing Pokemon? Pardon me, are you playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
Are you guys playing Pokemon Go?
Yes,
Yeah, how did you know?
You guys playing Pokemon Go?
Transit, yeah.
Are you playing Pokemon Go?
I might be playing Pokemon Go.
So you decided to download Pokemon Go again when you heard the announcements for Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Welcome back, it's good to have you. You're probably looking at your game going, what the heck is going on? Well, the base mechanics are still the same, but a lot has changed. We have some new Pokemon, like this one, Cacnea. It's Gen 3. Pokemon up to Gen 3 have been released in Pokemon Go. We have almost 3 full generations of Pokemon in Pokemon Go. All of the Kanto Pokemon, that's all of Gen 1, are available in-game, including all the legendary birds, Mewtwo, and Mew. From Gen 2, or Johto, we're only missing Smeargle and Celebi. And from Hoenn, Gen 3, we're missing a few, the Shedinja family, Clamperl and its evolutions, Kecleon, Spinda, and some of the legendaries. In total, 371 Pokemon are available in Pokemon Go. Catching and battling work mostly the same way, but there are a lot of new items, new mechanics, new features that have been added to make the game a lot more interesting, a lot more dynamic, and a lot more social. Starting with items, you probably recognize a lot of these, but we have TMs now. Fast TMs and charge TMs, so you can change your Pokemon's moves. If you evolve and you get a bad moveset, you're not stuck with it. You can use a fast TM or charge TM to change a move randomly to one of the Pokemon's other possible moves. We also have rare candies, which you can use to transform into a candy for any species of Pokemon. There's some new items called Raid Passes, and we'll talk about what those are for a little later. You also have Star Pieces, which is kind of like a Lucky Egg, but it boosts the amount of Stardust that you earn. And that's important because Stardust is the most important resource in Pokemon Go. Now, if you take a look at the main screen, you probably noticed a few new additions. For one, up in this top corner is a little weather icon. There's a weather system in Pokemon Go now. The weather in-game, for the most part, reflects the actual weather conditions. So right now it's sunny, and you're gonna see grass, ground, and fire-type Pokemon are boosted. Weather boosts work in a couple different ways. For one, those types of Pokemon will spawn more often, so here you have a Wooper. It's ground type. And you can see that it's weather boosted by the little swirly air stuff underneath it. Weather boosted Pokemon will be a little stronger than their non-boosted counterparts. There's a sun icon indicating that the Wooper's weather boosted, and that means it's gonna have potentially higher IVs than a regular Pokemon would, and it can spawn up to 5 levels higher in the wild, meaning you can catch wild Pokemon up to level 35, which is kind of a big deal because that saves you a lot of Stardust in the long run. Wooper, what the heck? Catching weather-boosted Pokemon also gives you a slight bonus in Stardust. Again, the most important resource in Pokemon Go. In total, there are 7 different types of weather. Each one is going to boost different types of Pokemon. There's sunny, partly cloudy, cloudy, rainy, snowy, foggy, and something else that I'm blanking on right now. Windy. It's windy right now, but it's hard to get windy weather in game. We even have an Alolan Pokemon, Alolan Exeggutor, but it's the only one right now. With the weather boost though, it's a good Pokemon to catch. Weather also boosts the power of certain moves, so Bullet Seed and Solar Beam, both grass type on my Alolan Exeggutor, both boosted by the sunny weather right now, which means they deal more damage in battle. Weather changes every hour at the top of the hour, and some Pokemon really prefer certain types of weather, so be sure to get out and check the same areas in different weather, and you'll find all kinds of different Pokemon. And down in the bottom corner, right above your nearby list, is the second thing you've probably noticed, the binocular icon. This is research, and it's one of the most exciting updates to be added, in my opinion. You can earn research tasks by spinning Pokestops, and every Pokestop will give you 1 research task per day. It's going to give the same research to everyone, so if you're playing with friends, you can all get the same tasks and complete them together. Once you complete them, you can claim the reward, and you'll earn a research stamp. You can only earn 1 stamp per day, but you can complete as many research tasks as you want for the rewards. In this case, the reward is a wild Ammonite. Pokemon you encounter through research rewards have higher IVs, a lot like Pokemon that hatch from eggs, so you can get some pretty decent Pokemon as rewards. They're all going to be level 15, so not as high level as Pokemon you get from eggs, but still a good way to farm decent Pokemon. When you earn 7 stamps, you'll get a research breakthrough box, which includes some items and a special Pokemon. Right now, that Pokemon is the legendary bird Articuno, and it changes every month. Last month we had Zapdos, before that it was Moltres. So completing field research is one way to catch legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Go right now. Special research is kind of like Pokemon Go story mode. The current special research, and anyone will be able to do this, there's no time limit on it, is the way that you catch Mew in Pokemon Go. So it's an 8-part quest that involves some pretty tricky steps, the most difficult of which are probably catch a Ditto and evolve a Magikarp. So if you're planning on evolving a Magikarp, wait until you get to that step of your Mew quest. I think the quest for Mew was my single favorite piece of in-game content in Pokemon Go, and I had a lot of fun making videos for it. So if you want to follow along on my quest to catch Mew in Japan, check out the suggested video. I'll also link it in the description so you can check that out afterwards. Oh my goodness. It's gone invisible. I see you there, Mew. Alright, we're gonna have some fun with this. So arguably the biggest game changer, the biggest update to Pokemon Go in the last year is the raid system. Sometimes you'll see eggs or Pokemon with timers above a gym. That indicates there's a raid there. They'll pop up randomly at gyms and you can look for raids nearby. There's an extra tab on your nearby list that shows you nearby raids. You can earn a free raid pass, 1 per day, by visiting a gym. And if you want to do more raids, you can buy extra passes in the in-game shop. Level 1 and 2 raids can easily be soloed. Level 3 raids, like this Aerodactyl, can be soloed once your Pokemon are strong enough. And for a lot of level 3 raid bosses, that means fully powered up, maxed out level 40. And once you get up to level 4 and 5 raid bosses, you're definitely going to need some friends to help you out. Your shiny Gyarados should do a decent amount of damage. Oh, there it goes. Did I mention we have shinies now? Not all of them, but there's like 50-something Pokemon that have shiny variants now. Here's a chart with all the available shinies. They keep getting added pretty regularly. Every new event introduces a handful of new shinies, and usually during the events they're available in increased numbers. Oh yeah, also, you don't have to tap and hold on the screen to use your charge move anymore. There's a nice convenient button, which means you can just spam down at the bottom and not even look at the screen to beat a raid boss. There it goes. When you beat the raid boss, you'll earn some items, golden raspberries, rare candies, that's the most valuable one there, and of course Stardust. You'll get some XP too, and once you beat the boss, you'll have a chance to catch the Pokemon. The only balls that you can use to catch it are the premier balls you earn after the battle, so you'll get some extra balls depending on how much damage you deal, whether your team controls the gym, and of course how much damage your team contributes to the battle. For harder to catch raid bosses, it's good to be patient with your throws because sometimes you're not going to have a ton of chances. That worked though. First ball. Now back there in the distance, that black egg, that is a level 5, that's a legendary egg, and it's hatching in 7 minutes. I need to get over there.
I'm not even logged in yet.
Yo. What's up? So for legendaries, you're definitely going to need some help. And if you live in a big city, it's probably going to be pretty easy for you to just show up at a raid and find people to raid with. If you're in a smaller city, your best bet is to show up right when the egg hatches, because that's when most people are there. Now, if you're a solo player, you don't know anyone who plays the game, none of your friends play, the easiest way to find a group of people to play with is the Silph League. The Silph Road has created a map of Discord groups, Telegram groups, all over the world, so local communities have put their servers, their groups on the map. You can check the map, find a community near you, join their server, and instant play group. A lot of people these days are using Discord or other messaging apps to organize for raids like this. You don't even have to be that active. You can just see where people are going and show up there. If you don't like talking to people, it's okay. You don't have to. It's definitely a social game, much more so than it was when it originally launched back in 2016. Right now, obviously, we're battling Latias. The legendary raid boss rotates every month or so, just like research breakthroughs. So currently, there are 3 raid bosses, or 3 legendary raid bosses available. In North America, South America, and Africa, it's Latias. In Europe, Asia, and Australia, it's Latios. And around the world, there's also Ho-Oh available. And if you're lucky, you could actually find a shiny Ho-Oh. Right now, Ho-Oh and Lugia are the only legendaries to have their shiny forms released, so not everything has a shiny, but again, these ones do. You see all these guys know each other back here, hanging out, talking? That is the key to having fun with Pokemon Go. Find your local community, get involved, and I guarantee you'll have a lot more fun playing the game than you would alone. Probably. I know there's introverts out there. I'm right there with you. But social game. Closing it out with my Mewtwo here, and we'll talk about Mewtwo in just a second. Legendary raids are also the fastest way to gain XP. That's 10,000 XP without a lucky egg on, but that's kind of empty XP. Again, Stardust is most important, and you don't get a ton for doing raids. You can level up quickly by doing a bunch of raids in one day, but without Stardust, you can't power up your Pokemon, so the XP is almost meaningless. Legendary raid bosses are definitely difficult to catch, so use your golden raspberries, perfect your curveballs, make sure you can throw accurate, excellent throws, and you'll have a lot easier time. Here we go.
It's on the end of 7th Street.
Yeah, 7th
It's right before the freeway.
Yeah, my brother, I'll see you over there.
Yep.
I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it. Once you find some local players, it's pretty easy to keep going with the raids. They'll usually have a route mapped out and a server you can join, a group you can join. So once you connect with people, it's pretty easy to get these legendary raids done. So we got a Ho-Oh here, but while we're doing this, I want to talk about Mewtwo. Mewtwo is a special Pokemon because it's not available through regular raids, it's available through special invitation-only EX raids. You can earn an invite by doing raids at eligible gyms, which are currently sponsored locations and gyms inside of parks. And your local playgroup will know exactly which gyms are eligible, so if you want your Mewtwo, ask them, they'll tell you which gyms to target with your raids. As a community, we've pretty much figured out how to trigger EX raids, so it's not difficult to get Mewtwo if you want it. You just have to go to the right gyms, do the right raids, hang out with the right people, and it shouldn't be difficult at all. Let's see if anyone gets it shiny out of this. What? 2? Yeah. Nice. Weather boosted. Congrats. So there it is. Shiny raid bosses. They're out there. Not just legendaries, a lot of regular raid bosses can be shiny too. Raid bosses can be weather boosted too. 2751. This is a level 25 Ho-Oh. Yeah. They're pretty strong. Now, besides just the big content updates, Niantic has really hit their stride with smaller updates too. There's something new and exciting to do almost every week. In the last 2 months alone, we've had 2 new legendary raid bosses, 3 legendary research breakthroughs, an April Fool's event, a Battle Showdown event, a Kanto celebration, Adventure Week, and my personal favorite, Community Day. Community Day is a recurring monthly event that started January of this year, and for 1 day a month, communities all around the world come together to hunt one special Pokemon. Each month there's a featured Pokemon, and so far we've had Pikachu, Dratini, Bulbasaur, Mareep, Charmander, and this month, June 16th, it's Larvitar. The featured Pokemon spawns in crazy numbers, its shiny variant gets released, and it can learn a special exclusive move that's only available during the event. The shiny Pokemon appear in pretty high numbers. I've seen some people catch as many as 15 in the 3-hour window. So all around the world, communities will come together and host meetups at their local parks, and it really does feel like summer 2016 all over again, with everyone out together in hordes, stampeding, chasing down rare and shiny Pokemon. Community Day is honestly my favorite addition to Pokemon Go since the game launched. More so than quests, more so than raids. I love Community Day because it really does just bring everyone together. And if you're interested now in attending a Community Day meetup this month to catch that shiny Larvitar and get a Tyranitar with a special move, again, check out the Silph League map, find your local community. I guarantee they're organizing something. You can go be a part of it, meet a ton of people who are playing Pokemon Go, probably a lot of people just coming back to it after the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee announcements. It's guaranteed to be a good time.
Hey, raise your hand if you're in No Shiny Club right here. I didn't get a shiny. I didn't get anything.
And I know a lot of you are probably asking, but no, we still don't have trading or PvP, but Niantic has confirmed in multiple interviews that they're working on it, and they should be coming soon. And as far as communication goes, Niantic has gotten a lot better. If you remember from the early days, they were pretty silent, but these days they're a lot more active on social media. There's a news feature in-game that lets you know about updates and events as soon as they start, and Niantic has gotten a lot more serious about fighting back against cheating. They're going after botters and spoofers, including a huge ban wave that happened a couple months ago, which just makes the whole in-game environment a lot more fun for legit players. So if you're giving the game a second chance and you like what you see, you want to stick around, go ahead, hit subscribe. I upload videos almost every weekday. I know the channel's called Trainer Tips, but these days my focus is really on capturing what the Pokemon Go experience is like around the world. I've done a lot of traveling in the last year and a half. I have a lot more coming up with big events for Pokemon Go in Europe and Japan this summer. I do also just have to give a shout out to Andrew Goldfarb. He's a writer for IGN who writes all of their Pokemon Go articles, and this entire video was inspired by a thread that he posted on Twitter where he was explaining some of these new mechanics to people who might be picking up the game for the first time in a while. So if you like to read and learn by reading, check out IGN. I'll link to some of his articles down in the description. You can read about the new updates, and if you like to watch, if you're a visual learner, I'll also link to a playlist with some of my videos that go a little bit more in depth on some of the updates that I talked about earlier in the video. So that's it for now. If you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and either myself or any of the several 100,000 people who have been following the channel for the last 2 years will be happy to answer them and get you back in the swing of things. It's good to have you back. See you soon for more Pokemon Go.